So we're out here at the range today and I have got the Eotech Model 512. You know, they sent me this to test out, not knowing that I've been running the 512 on my own personal rifle now for about 6 years. I run it with a magnifier because my old eyes have a hard time seeing anything beyond about 100 yards. So what I really like about this model is it takes AA batteries. Real common to find. It'll run about 2,500 hours continuously on lithium AA batteries, and then it'll run about 2,200 hours on alkaline. So you get a lot of runtime on this. Depending on how you turn it on, it's got two buttons, a down arrow button and an up arrow button, and after a period of time, it will shut off. If you use the down arrow button to turn it on, it'll shut off automatically after 4 hours. If you use the up arrow button to turn it on, it'll shut off automatically after 8 hours. So depending on which of those buttons you use to turn it on is how long it's going to stay on before it automatically shuts off. I love the aiming reticle in this. It's a holographic sight, so if you want to know the difference between a holographic and a typical projected red dot, you can watch our video that we did on the difference between a holograph and a red dot. But it's a holograph in here, so it's putting that beautiful crisp 68 MOA circle with a 1 MOA dot in the middle. And that makes this an ideal weapon mount system for home defense. At hallway lengths, at that 25, 35 feet, you're gonna just put that big red circle in the middle of that bad person's chest, pull the trigger, and that problem's gonna be solved for you. In the almost 30 years that I've been training law enforcement, civilians, and some military, special people in the military, I've gotten to work with some really spooky folks. And a lot of them are running Eotechs. And the reason is the ease of use, the rugged reliability, and that great big reticle. It just jumps up in front of you. And the other use for this that's really great is on a home defense shotgun with buckshot. If you get it patterned, you can use that red circle and match that to your pattern. And that will tell you at that range that circle is your shot pattern. So that circle, that shot pattern is gonna vary depending on whether you have a choke in there or if it's a cylinder bore, the length of the barrel, the type of shot you're using, the load that you're using. All of those are going to become variables on how big that pattern will open up. But if you get that thing patterned in and you know that at 25 feet, that is the circle, matches that pattern, then you've got a really good idea of what your spread's going to be in a hallway if you need to defend yourself. So the Eotech 512, we're going to shoot this thing, see how well it does, get it zeroed in. I haven't zeroed this one yet. So we're gonna see what it takes to get this thing on target and shooting, both at 25 yards and at 200 yards. That's right, this thing, if you get it zeroed in at 25 yards, it's supposed to be dead on at 200 yards. So we're gonna see if that's the case. Let's see what we can do. Okay, this one's for real. We're gonna do headshots on this, see if we're all dialed in. How'd we do? Ooh, threw 2 of those. Let's try that again. That might help a little bit. Better, but still just a little right. Just a smidge to the right. So one thing I really like about the Eotech 512 is when you get this thing zeroed in at 25 yards, you should be in a 223 dead on at 200 yards. So behind me, I've got a target set up at 25 yards, and then way out there at 200 yards, I've got Pete set up. So we're gonna try and transition and see how quickly we, with our eyes, can get from that 25-yard target onto that 200-yard target and see if our zero holds. Let's check it out. All right, so we've got their 25-yard target and we've got the 200-yard target, and we're gonna try transitioning and see how they go. So at 200 yards, Pete is having a bad day. And that's shooting pretty quick. That's offhand. So our zero, our 25-yard zero, is doing great at 200 yards. It's staying real consistent. When I would take more time to shoot, I was getting these tighter groups down here in the belly, so if anything, it's a little low. But with those snapshots, with that 68 MOA ring, just kind of getting him in the center of that ring, we were not doing too shabby at all. So I'm happy with that. I'd take that group. And down here behind me, you can see how far that 25-yard target was, plus where we're shooting from. So, yeah, I'll take that any day. So the Eotech 512 performed really well, better than I can shoot anymore with my old eyes. When I shoot mine, I run it with a magnifier because I want all the X's of magnification out there when I'm shooting. Just the eyes aren't what they used to be. Can't do open sights at 600 meters anymore like the old days. But I will tell you that at those hallway distances for home defense, this optic cannot be beat. So the great thing about it is, in a hallway environment inside a house where you're banging into door frames or into walls, even if that front glass breaks, it's still gonna project that holographic sight, that reticle up there for you to use. So it's extremely durable, it's really well suited. It uses common batteries, AA batteries, 2,500 hours of runtime on lithium AA batteries, and it has the auto off feature for either 4 hours or 8 hours, depending on how you set it up. So I highly recommend the Eotech Model 512. I'd get a magnifier if you're gonna shoot at long distance, but that's just me. And you can see those at the optics counter with a wide range of Eotech products at your local Sportsman's Warehouse or online at sportsmans.com.